What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and Boxing Day and happy holidays everyone. Let's get into it though, and we're starting off with one from the standard. And this is actually a funny one, so yeah, I'm actually glad we've got this story for once. It's about a squirrel who has attacked 18 people in a small Welsh village in 2 Christmas rampage. So a squirrel has played out a reign of terror over a sleepy Welsh village, and it has been brought to an end after it bit 18 residents, leaving some scared to leave their homes. Nicknamed Stripe, the grey squirrel was finally caught in a humane trap and handed over to the RSPCA by Corinne Reynolds, who had been feeding it from a garden in Buckley in North Wales. It came after more than a dozen locals reported being attacked by the rodent, with some posting gory images of bloody bite marks and deep scratches requiring tetanus jabs amid the 2-day rampage. I'm not sure how bad these marks would have been. The squirrel was also accused of biting dogs, cats, and chasing people down the country roads. The attacks were ended when Miss Reynolds set out a cage in a garden, leaving a handful of peanuts, Stripe's favourite snack, as bait. I love this squirrel. This squirrel is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious, this squirrel. I just love the idea of it. Just racing around, chasing dogs, chasing cats, chasing people all over. Obviously, it caused the residents a few problems and some people got bitten. That's not a good thing. But it's good that it's with the RSPCA now and that Stripe can be taken care of, and it's just one of those little local stories though that's something's happened to a little area in someone's village, right? In the middle of nowhere, and they've had some fun with the squirrel, and it's one of them. It's a feel good story. We're moving on to more stories. And this one's a stupid one. I can't describe it any other way. This is from KOLD, and it's about a woman who runs onto Phoenix tarmac to stop plane she missed. So yeah, this one is an absolutely stupid story. A woman is facing charges after running onto a tarmac at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. According to the police report, the door to the jetway was already secured when Vicky Mayers of St. Louis, Missouri, tried to catch a flight Sunday afternoon. Instead of waiting for the next flight, which is pretty much what any one normal person would do, right? You just wait for the next flight, but apparently not this lady. This lady ran through the glass doors separating the passenger area and the secure airfield. She was stopped by employees as she ran down a flight of stairs towards the nose of the plane. According to the police, she told employees she was attempting to have the plane stopped so she would not miss her flight. Guaranteed she's definitely missed that flight. Guaranteed she's definitely missed the next flight as well. But just to point this out, if for some unbeknownst reason you decide to run out onto an airfield, you'll get arrested. If you run past security barriers and glass doors into secure areas of an airport, you'll get arrested. I don't even know why I'm having to say this. It shouldn't be a question, right? It should just be something that's understood, but apparently not. Apparently, people think it's acceptable to try and storm out onto the airfield, stop plane from leaving because you missed your flight when she could have waited however long for the next flight. Is said she's not going to be attending any flights for a very long time. So she was charged with first-degree criminal trespassing on a crucial public service facility, and that is a felony in Arizona. So she won herself the grand old prize of a felony. So yeah, God. Personally, I would just take the next flight. But she won the felony award, so yeah. Moving on to another story. This one comes from sfbis.com, and it's about DoorDash. The DoorDash engineers are furious that they have to deliver food once a month. This is an interesting one. The delivery service DoorDash is requiring employees with cushy desk jobs to perform a couple of deliveries every month. Some of the cushy desk job types are throwing fits about it. So according to salary search Glassdoor, engineers for the delivery platform DoorDash average a salary of $166,000 a year, and that is a starting salary with additional stock compensation of nearly $50,000. Top DoorDash executives became overnight billionaires with last year's IPO. The company's generous work from home policy promises that home office equipment and monthly Wi-Fi support whilst working from home. Enjoy your favorite lunch on us while working in one of our offices. It's a nice work if you can get it. So yeah, they have pretty nice jobs. These engineers and stuff. So DoorDash has been facing a mini revolt amongst its employees. They had a policy of We Dash. Basically, what this meant was that the company would have its employees, regardless of their position. So if you worked in the office, regardless of your position, once a month you would go out and you would do a delivery or do a few deliveries, right? Just for a day, you do some deliveries. Now, this is important, and I feel like I need to explain this a bit, right? Why is it important for engineers to go out and do this? It is important. Well, why is it important for any office staff to go out and do this? It is so that you understand the business from the ground up, right? You can't effectively do your job if you don't know the issues that the company faces, right? And part of this, with having the engineers do this, is so the engineers know what issues there are with the current systems in place that they have created, right? What are the technical issues and how can they improve them? If they don't do the job, then they're never going to know, because how are they going to know, right? And also, if they see the issues, right, they might even be able to identify issues that the drivers and employees who are doing the deliveries can't identify from their experience, right? And it's important for this to happen because obviously it makes the company better and it makes you understand every aspect of the company. And it's not just engineers that have to do it, it's apparently chief executives as well who have to do it, right? So they understand what is done, what is necessary for the operation to run smoothly, what has to be in place, what needs changing, like what are the problems that are faced, right? And it's not just DoorDash that does this. There's tech companies that do this as well, right? In fact, a lot of businesses really do this as standard practice, to work in a position to just see what it's like and what happens, or you'll be required to go out and take courses in other aspects of the work so you understand what work other aspects of the company is doing, other people in the company are doing, so overall you can make it all better. But apparently doing this for one day is too much. So the individual an individual has complained. They complained on a platform called Blind. The individual complains that mandatory We Dash starts from next year. You need to dash once a month. Will be tracked in performance reviews. And then they say, what the actual F? I didn't sign up for this. There is nothing in the offer letter job description about this. MarketWatch confirmed with the Blind platform that the original poster used a DoorDash corporate email address. So they work in corporate for DoorDash. And the original poster is also described on the platform as PC400K, which means that their total annual compensation for their work is $400,000 a year. So basically, someone who earns $400,000 a year thinks it's beneath them for once a month to do the job of a delivery driver and to experience what it's like out there working with the systems in place. So what they're effectively saying is they can't be asked to be better at their job by taking one day a month just to see how their systems work and to understand what is facing users on their end, right? What is the customer experience? What is the customer getting? The $400,000 a year, and one day they can't be bothered to go out and actually ensure that everything's working correctly. They just want to sit in the home or in the office doing nothing. So the response to the post was mixed. There was a lot of people who, actually thought that this was a good thing. Who says, empathy for your customers, dashes, and restaurants is a good thing. Says one. This makes me want to order DoorDash more often. Says another. And of course it would. Policies like this make people want to order more from the company because policies like this ensure that people who work in the office can implement better strategies and systems and ensure that it's a great experience for the customer, that the restaurants get quality service, and that the dashers are able to fulfill the orders for the restaurants and for the customers to a standard that is acceptable to both, and in a manner that is convenient for everyone involved, that is cost effective, that is reliable and as fast as possible, right? But there was also some dissent. And this is from really entitled people. I don't get this attitude. But there was people saying, what the F? Not acceptable in any way. And then another person says, sounds like a good way to violate the terms of your car insurance or get injured on a bike. Like what? I just want to take this logic, right? $400,000 a year. Oh God, don't do that. Oh, you violate car insurance to get injured on a bike. But poor, dasher guy who's not even earning 6 figures a year, right? Oh well, screw him. He's poor, right? Who cares? But 400K guy, oh, don't do it, bro. Like what? I don't get the logic in that. Like I find that like really disrespectful. Like there's this idea that things are beneath you because you get paid a certain amount. Get paid to be good at your job. And part of being good at your job is doing this. So yeah, it's a DoorDash internal issue, so, we'll go wherever it goes. But I just think it's a bit disrespectful, to the other, to the dashers, to the customers, to the restaurant, to the entire company to say, I earn 400K a year. This is beneath me. This isn't in my job description. Yeah, it's a company policy, right? Company policies are in your description to be followed. I don't I like I highly doubt in his contract that it says you are so brilliant and perfect and wonderful. You are just God's gift to the earth. You are not required to follow any company policies or guidelines because we think you're so special and wonderful. Here's 400K and please don't follow anything we tell you to do or expect you to do as an employee to help the company. And like, what? Of course not. We're going to move on to the final story, and this is a sad one. This is a really, really sad one. So this is from the bbc.co.uk, and this is about Valentina Orellano Peralta, a US teen shot dead by the police, died in mother's arms. So let's get into this story. A mother whose 14-year-old girl was accidentally killed by a stray police bullet in Los Angeles as her daughter died in her arms. Valentina Orellana Peralta was with her mother in a clothes shop on 23rd December when an officer opened fire on a suspect. The bullet pierced a wall and hit her. Soledad Peralta wept as she described begging officers to help her daughter, but that they just left her laying there. This is a really horrible story. It really is, guys. In a statement read by a lawyer, Miss Peralta recounted how she and her daughter heard a commotion and screaming outside of the changing room while trying on dresses for a birthday party at the North Hollywood department store. They sat down together, hugged each other, and prayed. Peralta said she felt something hit her daughter, throwing them both to the ground. She said Valentina's body went limp and she tried to wake her up by shaking her, but she didn't wake up. Valentina died in her arms, Miss Peralta says. She screamed for help, but no one came. When the police finally came, they took her out of the dressing room and left her daughter laying there. I wanted them to help her, but they just left her laying there, she said. Miss Peralta said seeing a son or daughter die in her arms is one of the most profound pains any human being can imagine. Now, LA Police Chief Michael Moore has promised a thorough, complete, and transparent investigation into what he called a chaotic incident. And there's more to this story, and when you get to the next part, it becomes even worse. So police were responding to reports that a man was acting erratically inside the store and attacking customers with a heavy bike lock. He was also shot dead. And this is where the problem comes in. The guy was attacking people with a heavy bike lock. He wasn't armed. He did not have a gun, right? He had a bike lock. What this means is that his range of attack is close quarters, right? It requires him to be close to people. The officers chose to use lethal force in shooting rather than using a taser. They could have safely deployed the taser, taken the man down, and subdued him. Instead, they chose to shoot. The result of them choosing to shoot was apparently they missed in the first place and they hit an innocent teenage girl who was shopping with her mother. An innocent teenage girl who has now died because the officers used an inappropriate level of force to the threat that they were facing. And that is a problem when you resort to using weapons like firearms instead of using safer, non lethal options like tasers or mace, then you are causing a massive problem. There is a reason why you have guidelines on force in the police. There's a reason why these guidelines exist, and for some reason, the police chose not to follow these guidelines. They went straight to deadly force, and it does not look like it was requiring the situation. Now, there is probably some emergency calls that included reports that the suspect had a gun, but no firearm was found. The guy didn't have a gun on him. There was reports that he had a gun. Now, this does not justify them shooting him when they did not see a gun, right? It does not justify in any means, shape, or form because the result is still the same. They could have used tasers, but they didn't. They shot him. He did not have a gun. The officers did not see a gun. There was just emergency calls that says he could have had a gun. Well, that's true. Anyone could have a gun, but that doesn't mean you just shoot everyone because they're a suspect, right? That's why you have force guidelines, and it's not based upon what someone thinks. It's based upon what you see, and you didn't see a gun, right? And even if a person has a gun, you don't just shoot them. There's guidelines for this, and oh my god, it's so terrible. And I feel really, really bad for this mother because she has lost her daughter, and nothing is going to fix that. Nothing is going to fix that. Police body cam footage shows officers closing in on the man with their guns drawn as he bludgeons a woman. So they are closing in on the man with their guns drawn instead of closing in with a taser, and they could have just deployed it and taken him down. This is a shop with people in it, and they shot. This is so absolutely ridiculous. Like, so many people were in danger in this situation because the police chose the wrong level of force to use. It's Valentina's father, Juan Pablo Orellano, said the actions of the police officers involved were negligent. That's an understatement to say it's negligent. He's far better and kinder person than I am. I would call it reckless, frankly. I will not rest until the last day, until all these criminals are in jail, he said. Her family said the 14-year-old, a Chilean immigrant, loved skateboarding and hoped to one day become a US citizen. Mr. Orellano showed reporters a skateboard bought for her as a Christmas present. He said he would now have to take it to the grave so she can skate with the angels. It is like my whole heart has been ripped out my body, he added. Pain of opening the Christmas presents for her that have been delivered for Christmas Day cannot be articulated. Wow. Oh god, that choked me up, guys. That's this is a bad one. I really don't have anything more to say. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of the stories today. And obviously this last one was a really heavy one. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe for more content. Peace out and thank you for watching.